Let's talk about carbohydrates. Carbs used to be boring, but in the advent of high-protein, high-fat diets, suddenly carbohydrates are exciting. Carbohydrates are the body's main source of energy. They fuel most of the body's cells during daily activities. They are used by muscle cells during daily high-intensity exercise, and they are the only source of energy for brain cells, red blood cells, and nerve cells. Athletes in particular need to consume a high-carbohydrate diet to fuel their high-energy activities. Fiber, a non-digestible form of carbohydrate, helps maintain gastrointestinal health. Carbohydrates are the foods we think of as sugars and starches. They come almost exclusively from plants. The exception is lactose, the sugar in milk. Plants are complex food factories that make glucose, a sugar they later convert to starch, by acquiring water and nutrients from the soil, carbon dioxide from the air, and energy from the sun. As plants grow, they also make the various vitamins, minerals, and chemicals, and some protein and fat. Most of the carbohydrates and other nutrients we need come from grains, seeds, fruits, and vegetables. Simple carbohydrates are the next category. Basically, carbohydrates are divided into two forms, simple and complex. In simple carbs, each molecule is composed of either one or two sugar units. 6 simple carbs are important in nutrition: glucose, fructose, galactose, which are known as monosaccharides, are made up of one sugar link. Sucrose, lactose, and maltose, known as disaccharides, are composed of 2 sugar links. Glucose, the main source of energy for the brain, red blood cells, and nerve cells, is found primarily in honey, molasses, fruits, syrups, and vegetables. Fructose, or fruit sugar, is found mostly in fruits, honey, and table sugar, as well as in some vegetables. Galactose is one of the 2 single sugars that make up milk sugar, or lactose. The other 3 simple carbs, lactose, maltose, and sucrose, all contain glucose. Lactose, again, milk sugar, is formed by the combination of glucose and galactose. Maltose, which is malt sugar, appears wherever starch is digested in the body, formed by the combination of 2 units of glucose. Sucrose, or common table sugar, consists of fructose and glucose. Sugars are absorbed into the bloodstream and travel to the body's cells, where they are used for energy. Glucose also travels to the liver and muscles, where it can be stored as glycogen, a complex carb, for future needs. Glycogen can be stored in 2 depots in the body, the muscle and the liver. Glycogen in the muscles is energy for muscle cells only. Let me say that again. Glycogen in the muscles is energy for muscle cells only. Think of muscle cells as stingy. They cannot share that glucose with any other part of the body. There is an old saying that fat burns in the flame of carbohydrate, and that is true. Without glucose in the muscle, you cannot burn fat. When you eat food containing large amounts of simple carbs, sugar enters the bloodstream quickly, giving you a burst of energy or a sugar high. It is also absorbed in your cells quickly, leaving you feeling depleted and craving more sugar. Foods containing added sugar, such as candy bars and sodas, have an even more dramatic effect. Consumption of sugar has been linked to the epidemic of overweight and obesity in the United States and to the parallel increase in the incidence of diabetes. Let's talk about complex carbs. Complex carbohydrates are composed of multiple sugar units and include starches and dietary fiber. Starches come in a variety of textures, flavors, and molecular structures and occur in grains, vegetables, and some fruits. Most starchy foods also contain ample portions of vitamins, minerals, proteins, and water. Starches must be broken down into single sugars in the GI, the gastrointestinal tract, before they can be absorbed into the bloodstream to be used for energy or stored for future use. Complex carbs found in whole grains are often refined or processed to make them easier to digest and more appealing to the consumer. But the refining process removes many of the vitamins, minerals, and other nutritious components found in the whole food. Refined carbs include such foods as white rice, white bread, and other products made from white flour, like pasta and sweet desserts. Like sugar, refined carbs can enter the bloodstream quickly and just as quickly leave you feeling empty, leaving you feeling hungry. Whole grains, such as whole wheat, brown rice, oatmeal, and corn, are preferred because they provide more nutrients, they slow the digestive process, and they make you feel fuller longer, a feeling of satiety. The consumption of whole grains is associated with lowered risk of diabetes, obesity, heart disease, and some forms of cancer. Remember, eat smarter and choose healthy or complex carbohydrates. Think to yourself, the more whole, the more real, the better. The recommended dietary allowance for carbs is 45 to 65% of daily energy intake. In the typical American diet, carbs do contribute about half of all calories, but most of them are in the form of simple carbohydrates or highly refined grains. Instead, carbs should come from a diverse spectrum of whole grains and other starches, vegetables, and fruits. Dietary fiber, a complex carb found in plants, cannot be broken down in the GI tract. A diet rich in dietary fiber makes stools soft and bulky. They pass through the intestine rapidly and are expelled easily, helping to prevent hemorrhoids and constipation. Some foods contain functional fiber, natural or synthetic fiber that has been added to increase the healthful effects of the food. Total fiber refers to the combined amount of dietary fiber and functional fiber in a food. Dietary fiber that dissolves in water, referred to as soluble fiber, is known to lower blood cholesterol levels and can slow the process of digestion, so blood sugar levels remain more even. Foods containing soluble fiber include oat bran, many fruits and legumes, which are peas and beans, peanuts, or soybeans. And dietary fiber that does not dissolve in water is referred to as insoluble fiber, contained in such foods as wheat bran and psyllium seed. Passes through the digestive tract easily unchanged. Because it absorbs water, insoluble fiber helps you feel full after eating and stimulates your intestinal wall to contract and relax, serving as a natural laxative. The recommended dietary allowances, or RDAs, for fiber are 25 grams for women aged 19 to 50 and 38 grams for men aged 14 to 50. For people over 50, the RDA is 21 grams for women and 30 grams for men, respectively. The typical American diet provides only about 10 to 15 grams of fiber a day. If you want to increase the fiber in your diet, it is important to do so gradually. A sudden increase in daily fiber may cause bloating, gas, abdominal cramping, or even bowel obstruction, particularly if you fail to drink enough liquids to easily carry the fiber throughout the body. Now, I made a rookie mistake. I bought some oatmeal one time with extra fiber, and I thought, this is great. It's going to be extra fiber, synthetic or functional fiber, but it was too much too soon, which is what I talked about prior to. It left me with a very uncomfortable reaction. I had to throw the whole thing away. So do fiber progressively and introduce it to the body that way. Fiber is best obtained through the diet. Pills and other supplements do not contain the nutrients found in high fiber foods. Excessive amounts of fiber can decrease the absorption of important vitamins and minerals. Fruits and vegetables, dried beans, peas, and other legumes, cereal, grains, nuts, and seeds are the best sources of dietary fiber. Now, how does the body handle glucose? I call this opposing forces at work. When you have not eaten, a hormone is released by the pancreas called glucagon, which signals the liver to release glucose into the bloodstream. This is akin to hypoglycemia. When glucose in the bloodstream is high, or when a person is in hyperglycemia, the pancreas secretes a hormone called insulin to assist with glucose uptake into the cells. Think of it as the fictitious superhero Insulin Man without the cape, who has a magic tool that shovels the sugar into the cells. Now let's talk about glycogen. Our piggy bank or energy reserve would be glycogen. The body works very hard to maintain the normal range of blood glucose. The range is 80 to 120 milligrams per deciliter. Think of it as the range as normal blood pressure numbers, only inverted. We know that the textbook is 120 over 80 for BP, only we're going to invert those numbers. So easy way to remember your range. Let's recap. Glycogen, the storage form of glucose in the human body, is stored in the muscle and the liver. Glycogen must be continually replenished in order to keep our energy stores up. When we don't eat, somewhere between 12 and 14 hours after a meal, the body must be supplied with calories or energy. If you're out of glycogen, where is the body going to get the glucose now? If you guess muscle, you're right. But this is a huge sabotaging effect. The lean muscle that you work so hard for, do all that resistance training for, and for what? Only to break it down even further. Using protein for energy needs is not the preferred physiological way to obtain energy. Thus, if energy is needed, proteins are broken down and amino acids are sent to the liver to produce glucose. And only a few amino acids can do so. If you continue not to eat, your body will then be thrown into something called ketosis, which is the incomplete breakdown of fat. Now, doesn't that sound good? Biochemical fact. Fat cannot make glucose. Let me say this one more time. Fat cannot make glucose. Your body is going to break down some fat. If it were only that easy, we could break down fat and be lean, mean muscle machines. The problem is, that is not the science. What eventually ensues is a process called ketosis. I am here to tell you that ketosis is not a good thing. The end products of this process are called ketone bodies. Ketones equals fake glucose. Let me say that one more time. Ketones equals fake glucose. Your brain, red blood cells, and nerve cells cannot use ketones. If you continue down this pathway, you would have death within days. Thus, remember to consume clean fuel, eat a variety of whole grains, and limit refined, enriched, or processed sugars.